All right, so we're gonna move on to the next unit here. Like I said yesterday, or the last time we met, um, the next one is taking orthographic drawings, which you've been able to draw before, and figuring out how to turn them into isometric drawings. Now, we're going to change things up just a little bit, at least when it comes to what Lab 26 is and what Lab 27 is. We're going to flip them around because 27 is much less complicated than 26.
Are we using tools?
Can you say that again?
Are we using tools for this one?
Yeah. That is not what I meant to do. Where's my mouse? There. Close. I need oh my gosh, this having two cursors is driving me insane.
Is it an easier process?
Preview. Some people think it's easy, but here, let's just get into it and we'll see what you think. Basically, what's on the screen right now in the corner is 27. We're not going to do that one today. We'll look at that one probably tomorrow or the next time we meet. It just has some weird hidden angles, and it doesn't lend itself to being put together from two-dimensional drawings super well. In fact, I might even, it's like I've told you, I'm in the process of re-editing this workbook as we go through the assignments this year. So I might even throw this one out or make it like a final test kind of thing. Because it is fairly complicated to assemble because of the compounding angles. But, let's just breeze past that for the time being then. And take a look at this one here. So this is, can I do that? Does that work? There we go. So this is the one that's supposed to be Lab 27. We're going to use it as Lab 26. So just when it comes time to write the lab down, make sure you write 26 even though it says 27. Yes? So, alright. I'm working a little loosey-goosey today. I don't have a drafting board, so I'm just using the table. But we're going to start off by doing the three views for this. And then we'll put together its isometric view afterwards. This one is essentially a rectangle that has some pieces cut out of it. It is one that you have done somewhat before. The shape itself is fairly similar to one that you've done before, but just different measurements. Now, one thing that is a little bit harder to grasp on this one, especially on the front view, is the dimensions are in decimals, so you have to do a little bit of converting. However, in the back of your workbook, there is a conversion chart back here that'll basically give you the decimals as close to main inches somewhere. There it is, the one in color. And if it doesn't have an exact match for those decimals, then whatever is closest is fully acceptable for this. What is the question? No, you're still using the same thing there. The thing is, our assignment is all in decimals today. So you have to do the conversion. So if you got the printed copy of your book, you can flip to that and keep it on the screen or however you want to check this out. There's also, I think, just a link to that picture in Canvas somewhere. But taking a look at this, first thing that we're going to notice is that our shape is 4 1/4 inches long, which means that we're going to put 2 1/8 at our center mark on here. Do some focusing here. And we'll pull this in a little ways. Let's see if we'll make that a little more centered. There we go. Boy, that's still not super sharp. There we go. Alright, so I have my 2 1/8 mark on the horizontal center, and the scale is on the vertical. I'm sorry, flip those around. 2 1/8 is on the vertical center, and the line is sitting on the horizontal. So I'm going to make a mark at 4 and a mark and a quarter, and a mark at 0. So those 2 dots there. Our shape is 2 inches tall. So I'm going to grab my triangle, set the 1 inch mark on my vertical center, and then draw a 2 inch line at each of my dots. So overall, this one should be fairly similar to what we've done before. At the bottom is the line across from each side is 1.125 or 1 1/8. 1 1/8. 1.125. So that's in from the right, and I'm going to do the same thing in from the left. Yes. This? 2 inches.
How long is it?
2 inches tall,
Okay.
1 1/8 wide. Same thing on both sides.
Appreciate it.
Man, that was a bad idea. Why did I do that? Oh, nothing crazy other than I never fixed this from being a CAD drawing. I'll tell you what I'm talking about in a second. Up here at the top from each side is 1 inch in only. So there and 1 inch there. So the thing that, and I'm pretty sure this is right, so if it's not right, we're going to go with it anyway. This cutout down here at the bottom, I gave you the width between the angles, but I didn't tell you how tall it was. I also gave you the angle. So it is possible to figure this out. It's super easy to figure this out if you're doing this in CAD. But since we're doing this manually, I should really have given you another measurement here, and that's what I'm going to do now. So what I want you to do is, I have lined up the 1 inch mark on my measurement with the bottom line. I'm just going to slide over so that I'm in the center. And then I'm going to come up 3/8 of an inch and make a dot. So that's going to be the spot where that horizontal line is. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I do know it's going to at least be, in between the opening down here at the bottom. So I have to do a little bit of scaffolding here. How do you suppose we could figure out what that, or how we could use that angle? It says that it's 120 degrees, and it's 120 degrees off of the flat line here. If the flat line straight across is 180, and going straight up is 90, then 120 is going to be an additional 30 degrees. Or the 30 degree angle on your 30, 60, 90 triangle. So basically, once you have the line drawn there, 3/8 of an inch up from the bottom, we just need to set your triangle, your 30, 60, 90, so that the short leg is against your T-square, and then you just have to line it up with the end of the line on both sides. And then anything that's outside of that angle is something that we'll erase. The top, basically the same thing, except it is at 45 degrees, not 30, 60, 90. So I'm going to grab my 45-degree triangle, if it still exists. There it is. This one says 0.967 as the measurement. So we come down to our chart, because I don't have that one memorized. I think it's 15/16, but we'll double check. 0.96, let's see here, looks like 0.968 is 30 seconds. So we're just going to go with 15/16. Okay? So you can't see what I'm pointing at here because it's off the screen. But if you look at your own chart, you'll see that our options are 0.9375, and then next to it at a 32nd of an inch is 0.96875. When we're doing manual drafting, I've said this a few times before, we aren't going to be as precise as we would be on a computer doing this in drafting. So we're just going to go with the closest and the easiest for you to read and find. So that means that we're going to go with 15/16. So I'll put this back here. I'm going to set up my triangle. So it's like this. And let's see, what's the best way to do this? It's 45-degree angle. We're going to do this. I'm going to come down and set. So I've put, there you go. Ooh, that is, of course, right there. There we are. So I've put 15/16, which is this one right here, aligned with the top line there. And I'm just going to slide over here to the center. I'm going to make a mark down here at 0. And then just very simply make a little line through that mark right there. Set up my 45-degree triangle. We know it's 45 degrees because it tells us it's 45 degrees. No figuring out involved. Do that. Do that. And that's the front view. Minus a bit of hidden line. We'll do that real quick. All right, so we're going to pivot just a little bit. I'm going to put the hidden lines in real quick, and then because we've just drawn this shape, we're going to go ahead and draw that part of it in isometric here in just a second. The reason for that, because you're familiar with the shape, it's fresh in your mind, and all we have to do is draw it up here where all of our straight lines are 30 degrees. The angles will be a little tricky, but that's nothing we haven't done before. The only other difference for this one is that it is quite a bit larger than the last few that we've done. So we're going to come over a little bit further in our isometric corner. Whoa. There we go. A little bit further in our isometric corner than we did the last few drawings. So here, so we're going to do this. I'm going to put my scale here, and I'm going to come about a third of the way across and put my dot. So here, I can double check if that's going to be enough by just setting my triangle here. And I can see that I can easily get 2 inches this way without running off the paper, which is something that we'll look at here in just a little bit. Oh, is it 2 inches by 2 inches? So if I do this, I'll get to there. Maybe this isn't going to fit. Yeah, this isn't going to fit, is it? Yeah, it's really not going to fit. Do I want to make this our first scaling assignment too? We are going to accept that this is going to run off the paper, and we're going to be okay with that. Okay? So don't draw on the board or the table, but just know that when we do this part of it is going to get clipped, and we're fine with that. Okay. So from our little dot here, I'm going to go ahead and draw a 4 1/4 inch line. Ooh, is this going to run into the front view too? Did I do this on bigger paper last time? Okay, here. Let's shift tracks again. We'll go ahead and finish the 3 views, and then we're going to flip the paper over and do the isometric on the backside. So, it's cool. We'll just turn in 2 pictures for the assignment. I think I did this on sized B paper previously, which I don't have any of right now. Because if you didn't know that, school's in a paper shortage right now.
Oh, I thought that was an April Fool's thing.
I wish. Teachers have been running all over the building trying to print things because all of the copiers are out of paper. Okay. We got to put in that hidden line, which is 3/8 of an inch from the edge. So I'm measuring 1 2 3/8 on this side, and 1 2 3/8 on this side. And then we're just going to catch top to bottom. And then we'll make it hidden lines later. Top view and the right side view are basically just rectangles. So I'm going to do that first. The right side is a 2 inch by 2 inch cube or square. You good?
Yeah.
So 2 inches. Go ahead and do the height. 2 inches. Cover the top. The hidden lines on the right side view come from this flat at the bottom of our 45-degree angles and the top of the bottom angles. And then the lines on the side are 3/8 of an inch in from the edges. 1 2 3/8 right there. Again, these are going to be hidden lines that you'll get rid of, or we'll turn into hidden lines later. Now for the top. There we go. So we've got 1 2 3/8 in. 1 2 3/8 in. So I could just draw the full lines and then erase them later, but I don't need to, so I don't want to. Basically, I did the 3/8 inch lines, top bottom. Then I moved over 3/8 and drew the connecting little bit there. I'll do the same thing on the other side in just a second. Oh, oops. There. 4 to 2. Okay, and then I'll figure out those hidden. Here, I'm gonna do this. What am I doing? Oh, pulling the tape up. Set 6 up on there now. So hidden line from the first part of the bottom angle, hidden line from the second part of the bottom angle, solid line from the left hand side of the top angle, or right hand side I mean. Now solid line from the left hand side of the top. Again, come down for the inside angle,
But
and then the outside angle. What? Basically, we're drawing lines that correspond to all of the corners here. So anytime that there is a corner down on the front view, it has a corresponding line on the top view. Let my T-square shift. Yeah. Cross lines are literally just the top and the bottom. And then that little bit right there between the first two lines on each side. I got off place somewhere. I think I mismeasured. I did, in fact, mismeasure. There we go. Alright, that just leaves taking care of the hidden lines on this side. And then we'll move on to the isometric. Like, once you get the front face done, the rest of it is incredibly easy for the isometric side of things. And I'll show you what I mean.
trying to see what.
Okay, so that's hidden. And that is hidden. Let's see. That one is hidden.
We're not done yet, right?
No, we're going to do one more thing, and we're going to do the isometric on the other side.
Is that a big thing we're doing? Or just a big thing?
No, Just flip the paper you got over. What are you looking for? Alright, so once we have the 3 views done, we're going to flip it over. Since this one doesn't have a title block, just get it fairly straight. You don't have to spend a lot of time getting it aligned right. I'm just going to quickly drop this here and eyeball it. All right. Wrong shop again. I hear. She'll either figure out if she's in the wrong place or she'll figure out she's calling the wrong person. Okay, I'm going to, in order to do the isometric view, I can see my front view through the back side. So I'm just going to choose the center of it, which is right there. So somewhere in this neighborhood, roughly, on your paper. Like, just lower right quadrant-ish. So like we tried to do earlier, we're going to do our front view first. So it is 4 1/4 inches long across the front. But if you remember, the bottom lines are 1 1/8 long. So I'm going to start off by doing that. I put 8. Oops. That would be easier. There we go. Put 8 1/4 down here. And then I did up here to 7 1/4. And 7 1/8 is the length of that line. If 8 1/4 is my starting point, then 4 inches away from that is going to be 4. So I'm going to come down 1 1/8 from there. Let's see, who is... What? 1 1/8. Hey, Kit. You are called out. Alright, so that makes the entire length from the beginning of the line up here to the bottom down here should be 4 1/4 inches. On each side, I'm going to go straight up 2 inches. So there, and then also up here. And then I'll come down 1 inch on each side. Or not down, but towards the middle, 1 inch on each side. Okay. To get that height for the angle here, oh, that's going to be annoying, isn't it? I hadn't thought of that. Figure it out in just a second. This is going to be the best way to do that. Think in a second. Okay. To get that 1 1/8 for the line there, I'm just going to come and draw like a dot roughly in the middle between those two. And use that as a reference to measure straight up. 3/8 of an inch. 1, 2, 3. Put another dot. And then just draw a line there. So I put a spot in the middle between these two lines and measured straight up 3/8 of an inch. And then just drew a line that I knew was going to be way too big, as long as it was covering the space between the gap. We'll erase the rest later. Let's see here. We have a leg that's 3/8. Is that going to be 3/16, I think is how that works? Yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to do is from the end of this line on each side, I'm going to measure 3/16 of an inch. 16ths, unless you're within the first inch on here, is every tick mark on the ruler. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
3/16, yeah. So that should be a little more. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And 1, 2. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Yep, no, I did that right. Okay. Blue ribbon. Okay. All right. So once you've measured that dot 3/16 of an inch over, you're gonna come up and put a dot on the line up here. So we're going to do quite a bit of scaffolding here. So we came from this point here and went up 3/16 of an inch, and then went straight up and put a mark. And then we're going to connect that mark down to this. So from the mark, straight up from the 3/16, we're going to come back and do that. Okay, what is happening inside this thing? Get rid of some of this extra stuff. There we go. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to measure 3/16 of an inch down and to the right from the end of this line. So 1, 2, 3. Put a dot. Don't have to measure anything. We just line up with our dot and transfer it up to the line up top. And then connect the dot up top with the end of our line. Is this like coming apart? Oh, that's what happened. There we go. Okay. We're going to use the exact same steps from the top, except the numbers are going to be different. So since it's a 45-degree angle, both of our measurements are going to be the same. So we did 15/16, we did 15/16. So I'm going to come in and put a mark 15/16 from the end of this line. While I'm at it, since I'm already here, I'm do the same from the other side. 15, so it's there, right there. So I have my two dots. Spin the triangle, And we're going to do the same thing going down, 15/16 of an inch. So I put my dot at 2 15/16, and I'm drawing a dot at 2 inches. Do the same thing over here. Okay. So now this end is going to connect to that dot. This end is going to connect to this dot. And those two dots are going to connect to each other. That's front view. Alright. Our shape is 2 inches deep, the same it is 2 inches tall. We've already taken care of the part that says that it's 2 inches tall by finishing the front view. What we're going to do now is transfer most of the lines straight back 2 inches. To do that, to do that, we're going to take our triangle, and I'm going to start with the 4 full lines first. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. So basically, I need to line up a whole number with a corner, and then go back 2 inches. So whole number with a corner, going back 2 inches. This one, I'm not even going to need to draw a line because it gets hidden underneath this part. So there's really only 3 lines that we have that are complete. Okay. Is that? Not quite. Close though. These 3 ones are going to start off by being 3/8 of an inch long. So I'm going to start here at the bottom. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3/8 there. I put the point on a whole number, so I can come up here to 2 inches away from it and finish the other side. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to slide up and do the same thing on this line here. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to connect those top to bottom. Oh my gosh, this tape is driving me insane. So just top to bottom, no measuring, nothing fancy. And then this bit here. And then this one over here. This stuff won't roll as easy. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to connect this one here to start with. Now that I have this one over here, I can go 1 inch there as well. I can also do this. And this. Ooh, don't want to forget this one. Alright, so now we just have to finish both of those top views and then carry some lines. So we're going to come in 3/8 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch and connect them. And then we can do basically the same thing at the bottom, or actually just carry lines to do that. I'll show you. Alright, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch there. One, 2, 3/8 of an inch there. Might as well, since I've already got it set up. 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch there. And all we have to do is connect these. To do this part anyway. Flip my triangle over here. Connect that. And then down here, connect into the corner. What are you doing, Officer Wright? Okay, whatever. Excuse me. So there's a couple ways you can transfer to finish up the shape over here. I'm going to use these lines here that I've already drawn, so I don't have to do any weird flipping measurements of my triangle. So what I mean is, I'm going to set my 8 1/4 inch mark on the end of this line. I'm going to come over here to 4 inches, which is 4 1/4 away. I'm going to draw a 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch line there. I'm going to come up here closer to the top and do the same thing again. 1, 2, 3. So I've lined up there. 4, 1, 2, 3. Did I make that one too short? I didn't. Did I make this one too long? I also didn't. What did I mess up? I'm going from 6 1/4. Ah. I drew that line in the wrong place. 3. Okay, so I drew this line too long. It's not a big deal though. I can correct it without needing to do any super measuring or anything. I'm going to flip my triangle so that I have a nice edge to work with. I'm going to bump up to that and connect that line. And connect those lines. So you can see there I went about 1/8 of an inch too far. And then the very last line we have to do after that is just this corner down until it touches the rest of the shape. Alright, I will have this posted on Canvas in just a minute, or well, as fast as it takes to get it uploaded, and then you can scrub through it. If you have questions, don't hesitate to come and ask.